Hello and welcome to Music in 5 Minutes or Less with Mr. Craig. I'm Craig Harmon, also known as Mr. Craig. Today we're going to talk about how do you keep a steady beat. As I alluded to in the previous video, when we're talking about keeping the music going over the measures, it's hard. But the tool that I'm going to show you today can also help with this as well. And that tool is a metronome. Now, this was my grandmother's. This is probably about 100 years old, actually. And you can get digital ones. You can get apps as well. But the thing with this is it has one job. I love telling students this. Its one job is, if I hold it still, that's it, to tick. Isn't that exciting? It's not, right? It's not at all, because the whole idea is it's to help you learn and keep a steady beat. Now, if you're performing music, you're not going to have one of these out. If you do, that's going to be kind of embarrassing, and we don't want that. So how do we learn how to make it steady without this guy? Well, we start with this guy, because as we go along, we learn to, the big fancy word is, internalize the beat, that we have it inside of us. Or maybe you'll hear some, especially instrumentalists, tap their foot, right? But this helps us. And so what happens with the metronome is wherever this little bar is how fast or slow, right? If I put it way up here, this is slow, right? And then as we get down here, all the way down here, oh, now it's really quick, right? So, and everything in between. So you'll see when you're looking at music, sometimes it's going to tell you a metronome marking, which means you'll see a little symbol that says quarter note equals, and then there'll be a number, right? It might equal 60. And if that's 60, it's going to be 1 beat per second. And because I'm holding this is not really the most steadiest, because I'm kind of not intentionally moving it, but it's moving. Or you might see an Italian word that's really kind of confusing. We'll unpack those a little bit more later. On here, you're going to see, at least on my metronome, it says largo, larghetto, adagio, andante, allegro, and presto. Those are all varying levels of speed, starting from largo, which is slow, to allegro, actually presto, which is really fast. So to keep a steady beat, right? That thing drove me crazy throughout my years of practicing, and I still use it today, because what happens is when we're learning something, we want to have that tick, 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 tick to keep us steady. But the problem is, if we're trying to learn a song and we learn at full speed, we won't be able to keep up right off the bat, because that metronome is going really, really fast. And that's the finished product. We always want to start slow. And this is where learning that steady beat is so important, because if we start slower and we can really get locked into that steadiness at a slower speed, picking up the speed is easy, right? We can bump it up maybe 5 or 10 and pick it up really easy. Not a problem. But that's the thing. When we play music, not only by ourselves, but with other people, we want to keep it steady, right? Because not only do we want to get to the end of the measure and keep going to the next beat, but we also want to keep everything steady and not speed up or slow down. Now, there are some points that you do want to speed up and slow down, but that's another conversation for another day, because really what we're looking at today is starting out simple. We want to keep it steady and keep it basic and keep it going. So that's today's 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. And I would love to have you subscribe, share, give me a thumbs up, all that good stuff, and share it with other people who might get a kick out of this, might enjoy it. Thanks, and check in for more videos.